Hello twin flame friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Charlotte with Happy Twins 1111. Guys, it's so cold here today. I'm just putting some blankets on myself. It's freezing in England, though not as cold as it is for some of you guys that are in, well, colder places. Speaking to friends in Canada and other cold places, and it just made me want to die hearing what temperature it was there. Okay, right, so I've got to pick a card today. How do you need to heal? What's going down in your connection that you can, not your connection, in your healing journey? How can you move more gracefully towards surrender is the question today. We've got the High Tarot with Amazonite. We've got the Lunar Soul Tarot with Moonstone, Chrysalis Tarot with Obsidian, and the Wildwood Tarot with Serpentine. So let's do this. Timestamps are in the description box below. Pile 1. Okay, guys, and while I'm shuffling and getting the cards ready, just a reminder as well that if you wanted to take advantage of my Halloween offer for Spirit Release Therapy, there is a 20% discount code on my YouTube community page that expires tomorrow. So snap that up while you can. I've also just introduced group meditation sessions. You can find a link to my website in the description box below. They're under the tab for meditations. I'll be doing them at the full moon and at the new moon, so that you can, hopefully get some support on your healing journey, because meditation really was the key. Meditation, quantum healing, and past life regression. I offer all of those services also on my website, and you can also sign up for my classes on my website. There's a discount code in my Facebook group for my classes for another 5% off, which is also valid until tomorrow. So if you head on over there, it's really great to join the Facebook group if you haven't already, because there's so many happy twins over there just waiting to support you. I know how lonely this journey can be if you've got no one to speak to about it. But let's do this. Let's do this reading. So as I said, today we are looking at what is blocking you from healing. How can you move more gracefully towards surrender? What do you need to know about what you need to release, what you need to let go of? Let's have a little look-see. I'm going to draw some oracle cards as well. This is the High Tarot by Dan Francis. I know this, the illustrator of these cards is a lovely chap. In fact, my daughter is in one of them. To see if it comes out. So we've got the Five of Cups. We've got the Four of Pentacles, called the Witch in this deck. So the Mushroom and the Witch. Eight of Swords, the Cactus. The Bottle, Ace of Wands. The Dragon, Four of Cups. Page of Cups, the Sunfish. Judgment, the Peacock. Five of Swords. We've got the Queen of Cups in reverse, the Owl, the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, the Pearl, the Bull in reverse, which is the Moon, and the Three of Pentacles, which is called the T. Okay. I'm going to pull out some oracle cards for you as well. Oh. We've got Purity, Pleasure, one more. Release. Surrender your fear of change. Surrender to receiving love and support. Surrender to the magic of who you are. Okay. So I'm just going to pull my blanket back around me because I'm absolutely frozen. So if you chose this pile, I feel like you are you're dwelling on a lot of disappointment and regret. And this might not be from your connection. This is probably something that goes way back. You're holding on to a lot of stagnant energy relative to regret and disappointment, and you're not seeing the opportunities that are being presented to you as a result of this. We've also got the Four of Cups here, and that really affirms this message for me. We've also got the Four of Pentacles in reverse, and you're just not letting go. And I feel like you're exceptionally serious. You know, it's been a long time since you felt playful and lighthearted and just joyful, because there's just so much trauma bubbling under the surface. There's a lot of limiting self-beliefs here, and a lot of these relate to awakening as well. So I feel like you're giving yourself a really hard time, and really beating yourself up because you think you should have made more progress on this journey by now. And, you know, this is your ego talking, and there really is, you know, every stage of this journey is just a step forward. You're always moving forward is what I'm guided to reassure you. And with the Ace of Wands here, clarified by the Five of Swords, you know, there's some kind of conflict that's been bottled up. Now, the Ace of Wands, for me, usually means beautiful new spiritual beginning. But in this card, it's called the bottle. And I feel like that beautiful new beginning is available to you. But because you're bottling up all the pain associated with this conflict that you've experienced, for some of you, this would have been conflict in the home in childhood. I'm picking up that this is like an unstable home life from your youth that you're still clinging on to. And, you know, you're doing really well on this journey. You've come through so much, and I know you're still in pain, but you're not in the same pain that you were in before. You know, you have made progress. You're exploring your spiritual self. You are expanding your awareness of what your spirituality means to you, but there's just no confidence there. But this is your ego talking, and you really need to release yourself from that. You need to let go also of, you know, this very serious approach to life and also to your journey, because what I'm getting really strongly is that by being a bit more lighthearted, a bit more cheerful and playful, you're going to move into a much calmer place. You're going to move into a place of just more peace. A lot of it is I feel like you spend so much time focusing on all the practical things, trying to feel in control and good about your life from doing, but doing really practical stuff. You're not giving yourself enough time to just relax, be playful. You know, this might be a good time to pick up old hobbies again and to just find something that can get you into that flow state. But this card, Purity, you know, I feel like this is, you know, this is kind of blanketing over. You're so focused on trying to be a good person and trying to, you know, ignore all the pain inside of you. It's almost like you're blanketing over what needs to be released. And there is a release that's required. We've got release here. But pleasure, you know, and fun is definitely indicated for you. This is going to be transformational for you to just seek pleasure again, just to have fun. Across from this, we've got surrender to receiving support and love. Allow the love and support of others in rather than trying to handle everything yourself. This can take the pressure off you and simultaneously nurture you. So, you know, just reconnecting with friends, picking up your social life again. I feel like you engage in a lot of distracting behaviours, as I said, that are super practical. Perhaps, you know, overworking, you know, getting down to those really mundane tasks that just help you keep busy, keep your mind off this pain. And I know a lot of this pain comes through from your connection, but actually it goes deeper than that. This pain has existed a long time. And, you know, for many of you, this conflict, we've got 2 5s here. So this is a transition that you have to make. It's a cyclic change that you're resisting at the moment. And it's blocking you from seeing all of the opportunities available to you. But because you're so focused on these distracting behaviours, you're forgetting that the support is there for you, not just in your existing friendship group, but, you know, in other communities as well. And if you haven't joined my Facebook group already, you know, there's so many happy twins over there that are just waiting to show you some love and that understand this journey. And, you know, that would be a really fabulous step for you. But to pleasure, to carve out time for yourself, to be more lighthearted, to be more casual in approach to your connection as well, to just allow it to flow quite joyfully. And I know that's going to be difficult. And for some of you, this conflict and this resentment and this regret and this disappointment that's come through, maybe it is just for your connection. But either way, the guidance is the same. And you're not loving yourself in the way that you could be. And that's blocking you from accessing your own higher wisdom as well, because you're constantly in a state of, flux. You're not balanced. But there's definitely a need to let go and allow this beautiful new beginning, and to tap into your higher wisdom and intuition from a place of stillness, because it's there. You have strong psychic ability, but you're just so trapped in these self-limiting beliefs. You're constantly telling yourself that you're not good enough, that you're not as gifted as everyone else, that, you can't access your spiritual gifts, or perhaps you've been trying really hard and it's just not worked out for you in the way that you wanted it, or you're not making the progress as quickly as you wanted. But, pardon me, you wouldn't jump in a car for the first time and expect to be able to drive it straight off the bat. And spirituality, everyone unfolds at their own pace. Certainly with mediumship, tarot, whatever it is that you're learning or applying yourself to learn, you need to remove fear and you need to trust. It's doubt and lack of faith in self that is actually holding you back on your spiritual journey, these limiting self-beliefs that you hold about yourself. And you need to seek support to embrace this beautiful spiritual new beginning that's being presented to you. You need to work with others. So communities indicated that, bringing together a close group of friends is really strongly indicated for you. And, this release is really needed so that you can have this powerful transformation that awaits you. The surrender your fear of change. This one says the universe is reminding you that you are cared for always. Whether you're afraid of a change in your job, your health, or a relationship, or if you fear aging or death, repeat the affirmation, I have faith that all is well. And that is beautiful advice. So, something needs to shift and be changed in order that you can get back on track and start moving towards what serves you and what you want. Because, as the card said, this could be work, it could be, health stuff, or a karmic relationship you're stuck in, or just general fears about your own aging or well-being. And it could be someone around you that's unwell, and this is kind of also dragging you down. We've also got surrender to the magic of who you are, which is a beautiful card. We all have magic in us, it says here. And even in the mundane aspects of life, remember that you are a magical being with a uniqueness, worth that comes from just being you. And, you can start to indulge and believe in that. You're exactly where you're meant to be. I know you're beating yourself up because you want to be further ahead, but you've got to appreciate where you are and appreciate how far you have come. And a lot of people say to me, I don't know how to do the work. I don't know how to surrender. It's just about digging out these old wounds and confronting them. And you can do that from a place of meditation in a much healthier way. There are tons of meditation resources on my page and in my Facebook group. And I am running weekly meditation groups, which you can find on my website. They start next month. But there is a free instructional video on my channel, which I strongly recommend you watch if you haven't yet got into meditation. As I said in the intro, it really was the key to my healing. And it's what brings me back into balance every time. Guaranteed, if I've been wobbling, it's usually because I've been so busy that I've not allowed myself that time. And, creating time and space to love yourself in that way is the first act of self-love. Not having time is a really poor excuse. And I understand, sometimes I really don't have time. But it's important that we do make time. We've got home, growth, self-love, and sexual energy for you here also. So what I'm getting here is that, for some of you, this home life that requires, this change that you require could be to do with your home life. There's some kind of truth that needs to be illuminated there. I feel like this is where a lot of your inner darkness and pain comes from. And you're being asked to be accountable for your part in this. We can't always choose our circumstances. We really can't. Quite often we can't control our external environment, and this might be the case for you in your home life at the moment. And for some of you, you're being asked to understand that, yes, you can't control your circumstances, but you can be accountable for how you react and respond to those circumstances. And there is always a lighter, brighter way that's going to serve you better. So you've got to, I feel like you're very focused on wanting other people to change so that they're not draining you, they're not bothering you in specific ways. But it's highly unlikely that that's going to be a successful strategy. You can't change other people, but you can change your own perspective and how you react and respond. And as I said, I feel like you have a tendency to blanket over these things and to try and be pure and light. And then you beat yourself up when the pressure builds and you end up exploding in perhaps anger or frustration, sadness, whatever it is that comes through for you. For some of you, this might not be about a home change or problems or conflicts within the home. This could actually be about needing to clear home, make home more of a sanctuary and create that safe space for you. I mean, this is a period of massive growth, and I really feel like this 10-10 and 11-11 portal is kicking our ass. But we are growing. It's about, this is about, there's leaves and acorns in this card. So for me, this is about letting go. The trees show us at this time of year, don't they, just how beautiful it actually is to release and let go. And, from that letting go, there's a period of dormancy or hibernation before that new growth emerges. So, if you've been beating yourself up over how your spiritual journey or how you're moving forward in this journey, just remember that once you've let go, there needs to be a period of time where you recalibrate and everything comes back into balance before you actually feel the benefits of that growth and expansion. Self-love, and this is also number 5, is obviously at the root of all of this. And as you know, this is what the twin flame journey requires of us. It's about coming back into union with self. This is a number 6 card. And, I feel like you feel that self-love feels very unobtainable. You just don't know how to obtain it. But a big part of this is about being aware of that ongoing commentary in your head, of that inner voice. How do you speak to yourself when you look at yourself in the mirror in the morning? How do you speak to yourself when something goes wrong at work, or you don't, meet deadlines for the stuff you need to do at home, or you're late for something? I feel like you just beat yourself up a tremendous amount. There's a lot of limiting self-beliefs, and you're not aware that a lot of this is actually created internally because of this thought process, this really intrusive, very negative thought process that you're stuck in. You have to pause and ask yourself, when you're having that ongoing chat, would I say this to a friend? And sometimes it really helps to journal or to write letters to yourself. So write a letter saying about how you feel, and then leave it for a period of time and come back to it and respond to yourself in writing. And, write to yourself or speak to yourself like you're your own best friend. Quite often the things we say to ourselves and the harsh tone we take with ourselves is not even comparable to how you would support a friend that was presenting similar concerns, pain, hurt. You'd listen and reassure them, and you'd be really sincere and tactful and sensitive in your response. But we don't always give ourselves that love, and this is coming through really strong for you, that you just really beat yourself up. Sexual energy, you may be feeling this very strongly with your twin and you don't know how to detach from it. It could be driving you a little bit crazy. So, this can be because there's a strong connection between your twins and your sacral chakra. Remember, twins share a chakra system. And if the heart chakra is blocked, if there's not a straight path from heart to heart, then you can overcompensate for this in the connection with that very strong sexual energy. So when this is the case, it really pays to work on your heart chakra specifically and opening that. And I feel like, given the disappointment, the regret, and all of those kind of sad feelings that are bubbling under the surface with you at the moment, it's quite possible that you have a very blocked heart chakra. And so your sacral chakra is overcompensating, because the sexual energy and love energy between you and your twin are going to be two of the strongest. That and the triggering energy of the solar plexus. But it could also mean that you need to, for some of you, it may be the opposite. It may mean that you need to nurture your sexual energy and find your divine feminine or masculine self in that energy also. sacral energy is also, very passionate, fiery, creative, enthusiastic. It's very driven. So a blocked sacral chakra can also make you sluggish and unmotivated, and it can also block you from finding joy or feeling, a passionate pull towards things that are just fun, just for fun. And that's come through really strongly in this reading for you, that you just need to have fun. So definitely that's something that you may need to focus on. So for some of you, it could be an overactive chakra. Some of you, it could be the underactive sacral chakra. But it's definitely something that needs to be addressed. I am doing one of the meditations I'm doing, I think it's in mid-November or thereabouts. You can find the information on my website. But one of those is specifically focused on clearing the energy between you and your twin. So this would really help you. It's only £7.77. Obviously 3 sevens, number of the divine. And guided meditation is incredibly healing. So if you're not sure how to clear your own chakras, I'm pretty sure actually my meditation instructional video has got a self-clearing visual in it. So you can go and find that on my channel under the Twin Flame Healing playlist. How to heal through meditation. I feel like that would be of huge benefit to you. So let's get some more oracle cards. What else do you need to know about moving forward? Healer of the ages. So you probably have natural healing ability, and I feel like you may have been exploring a lot of other spiritual modalities, but perhaps haven't acknowledged healing. Now, a lot of people, when they think of healing, they think of hands-on healing, but I'm a dynamic energy healer. I prefer to heal at a distance. I'm also a Reiki Master. I do hands-on healing, but I was talking to one Made for Love about this today, one of my friends. I actually prefer distance healing. For me, it actually feels more powerful, but you've definitely got healing ability, and I feel like this is really going to help you reconnect with your joy, because let me tell you, there's something very, very rewarding and quite beautiful about healing other people. And for me, I always feel like healing others, when I heal others, I receive healing also. But you definitely need to find your joy again. You need to find a passion. You need to find something that you feel enthusiastic and excited about, that, when you're at work, you're kind of looking forward to getting home so you can get stuck into your practice. A healthy mind requires a hobby. Flow state is something we achieve, and flow state is, it's mindfulness. It's when we're just focused on something that's enjoyable, and we can indulge in that. And I feel like this has come out really strongly for you. Woman holding a heart. I feel like you probably feel you're overgiving, and you may be beating yourself up for perhaps having been too loving or too giving, but you need to trust that that's okay. And yes, it has to be balanced with you giving enough for yourself, but loving is never in vain. So you can release that very self-limiting belief that you're holding about yourself, that you just give too much. You can transform that love that's contained within you by channeling it inwards and giving more to yourself. So the thinking woman, again, there's a need to study here. There's a need to, I'm hearing, study the twin flame journey specifically, so you have a stronger idea of what surrender and acceptance is. And so that, I think whilst you're studying, while you're learning, you're going to explore a lot of different modalities and perhaps happen on something that's actually grabbing your attention and making you feel excited. This is going to bring beautiful transformation for you and guide you towards a much healthier ascension. It's going to accelerate your ascension as well. There is an article about surrender on my website also. It's called Return to One. So go and check that out, because I feel like, you're so close. I feel like you want to surrender, but you don't know how. But the information's out there. There's a big chunk of it on my website and even in my videos. But as I said, you're moving into a calmer place, and that, you're on the cusp of moving into that surrender stage. We've got here door to personal healing and happiness. That door is open for you. It's like Spirit is just asking you to just step through this doorway now. Peace, joy, hope, optimism, that all awaits you. All of this beautiful growth and expansion is within reach. You just have to take the time, create the time to allow for this growth and expansion to happen. So I really hope that helped, part one. Please do hit the like button if you enjoyed this. It really does make a huge difference to my channel. YouTube will always promote videos more if they've got more likes or even downvotes. They just like engagement. So if you enjoyed this video, please hit like, share or subscribe. It really, really does help and I appreciate it so much. If you would like to donate to my channel by way of thanks, there's a PayPal link down below, or perhaps you'd like to donate a deck of tarot cards so that we can keep the readings fresh. There's also a link for my Amazon wishlist downstairs in the description box. And if you'd like to book a private reading with me or check out any of my other services, you can do that by going to happysouls1111.com. So I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you so much for tuning in. Okay, pile 2. Thank you for joining me. So while I'm shuffling pile 2, I just want to remind you that my Spirit Release Therapy discount, there's a coupon code on my YouTube community page that expires tomorrow. So if you're interested in getting a clearing for you and your twin, you can go and find a 20% coupon code there. And also I've just announced some new guided group meditations, which you can also find on my website. So, you know, they're very healing focused. We're going to be doing them at the new moon and the full moon and some in between. There is one up there as well, which is going to help you clear yours and your twin's energy and clear the energy in your connection also, which could be useful for you. But let's see what comes up in your reading. And of course, if you've not already headed over to Facebook to join my networking group there are so many happy twins over there just waiting to welcome you and to share this journey with you. So do come and join us if you feel like you need some, you know, additional support. I know how lonely this journey can be. Right. You'll also find loads of coupon codes over there as well for discounts on my classes and stuff. Right. So for you, pile 2, we've got 8 of Cups. We've got the Emperor. I don't read reversals in this deck, so I will turn them upright if they come out reverse. We've got 8 of Cups, the Emperor and the Wheel of Fortune. The 9 of Pentacles. And the Hierophant. We've got Death. 4 of Swords. The Sun. Wow, tons of major arcana for you, part 2. The Lovers. Tremendous amount going on for you. And the Queen of Cups. We've got the 2 of Wands, the Queen of Swords, the 5 of Wands, the 10 of Pentacles. Oh, this is a beautiful reading. You're doing good. And the 6 of Swords. Wowza. Let's get some oracle cards as well. We're going to get some Power of Surrender cards. Surrender procrastination. Surrender to success. Surrender the idea that you can fix someone. We've got creation, self-reflection, and gratitude. Okay, so I feel like you've been on this inner journey, in this healing journey for some time. If you've not been on it for some time, you've definitely been on it and you've been making fabulous progress. I feel like you're bringing everything back into balance and harmony. This has been a deeply transformative place for you. You've really got into meditation, or at the very least mindfulness, and started, finding that stillness within you. And this is a really transformative time. We've got the Wheel of Fortune there. The wheel is turning, and I feel like you're in a much better place. You're feeling, there's a lot of self-fulfillment here. There's a lot of satisfaction. There's a lot of high learning. There's some powerful self-love. This is I feel, a very positive time for you. Definitely, this self-fulfillment and self-satisfaction you're feeling. I mean, the 9 of Pentacles here, what's really beautiful about this is you've got that progression down here. And I feel like you finally learned to be happy on your own. Like, you may not be in full union with yourself, but you've reached a point of being fairly satisfied with what you've got and understanding that this journey really is about you. I feel like you've brought your masculine, feminine energies into balance, that you're moving along this journey at a much more balanced pace. that you're, I just feel like you're in such a good place with this at the moment. But, you know, there's always healing to be done. As I said in many of my videos before, healing is infinite. There's always more. You know, we're never really done. And I think one of the things with you is that because you've discovered how powerful healing is, you're now trying to heal your masculine. I feel like that's what this is about, that you're very focused on healing your divine counterpart. And we have got down here, surrender the idea that you can fix someone. It's time for a relationship to shift. It doesn't work to try to fix someone. Each person must be accountable for his or her own healing. And I apologise for coughing. Someone actually complained about this yesterday. And if you don't like me coughing, I invite you not to watch my videos. I'm ill. And, you know, I'm just trying to continue to put videos out there. But I thought it was a little bit mean to complain about that. So I feel like you're channeling a lot of effort right now into trying to heal your divine counterpart. And this, I mean, that's beautiful, but you also kind of have to surrender to the idea that this is something he has to do, or this is something your person has to do for themselves. And again, I apologise that I keep getting the gender stuff skewed. I try and say they and person, but you know when I say masculine that I'm talking about the DM if I say he. So you've got to be really careful of overgiving, because when you're taking responsibility for healing your masculine, you're actually creating more codependence, which is exactly what you've been trying to release and let go of. Now, what's really interesting, we've got the beaver moon here, and we're actually approaching the beaver moon. The next full moon is the beaver moon. And this is a divine feminine card. This is an Empress card because it's number 3. So, and I'm really guided to notice how in this card there's these scrolls and maps, and it's kind of sacred geometry, intuition. And what I'm hearing is that the map towards this inner healing, this self-love and moving into union with self is needs to be focused once again on you. You know, that the map doesn't lead you to your masculine. The map leads you to yourself, and then your masculine comes to find you. That's how this all works. So you really need to surrender to trying to fix your masculine. And you need to, and also I'm getting that does emasculate them somewhat. You know, they need to find the strength to do that for themselves so that they can build up their own confidence, rather than creating this codependency surrounding you doing with yourself. I talk about this in an article on my website called Return to One. It's a very common part of that surrender stage. We realise how powerful healing is, and we start trying to heal our masculine. But they need to do that for themselves. Now, I'm picking up on some indecision with you over here, and this is clarified here as well with surrender procrastination. It says now is the time to jump at a goal instead of putting it off. Taking action will attract success. And I feel like you've sat on this and you've been thinking about it and you've been turning it around in your head. And this comes from that masculine energy from you, this need to control, this need to be balanced and harmonious. And I feel like you spend a tremendous amount of time thinking this, but there's no action. You're very conflicted. For some of you, this could be about changing homes, and I'm picking up very strongly that for some of you this is about leaving the home you're in and moving away from a karmic, because we've got the 6 of Swords here, which is a transition. You know, it's moving away from something, leaving something that's unsustainable or, you know, isn't making you happy, to move towards calmer waters. And you can trust that this self-fulfillment will lead to union. You know, there's some more self-reflection required. You're still looking in the mirror, but you need to one of the transitions you need to make is one towards gratitude. And this is about really, really giving yourself a pat on the back for how far you've come, and for focusing on gratitude as one of your mindfulness exercises, because I feel like there's still some focus on your masculine when it needs to be on yourself, because you feel frustrated that you've done all of this work, but it's not work, it's not moved you towards union yet. But you are in such a great place, and we've got surrender to success here. You're ready to experience abundance. I feel like you already are. You know, you're in this Nine of Pentacles energy. You're learning. You're learning so much. You really grasp the truth and a new, broader perspective of your own authenticity. But this self-reflection, this, inner journey is an ongoing thing. This tapping into your own emotions, digging really deep into your own emotions. Really looking in the mirror. And this is such a twinny card. You can see these two people here, really looking, well, they're looking at themselves in the mirror and they're up to their necks in water. And water represents the emotional body. Just notice it's pretty dark here. So I'm going to, you can see. Just making sure that it's not too dark and you can see the cards. So, don't look back at all the previous roadblocks and difficulties. You need to keep moving forward. It says here, leap into an exciting new world of possibilities. And this is what I'm seeing is available to you. But there's a leap. There's a decision you need to make first, and you need to take action because you've been planning it, you've been strategizing, you've been thinking about it, but you're so conflicted about actually taking that step. With the Sun card for you, for some of you, this may involve children or family, which makes the decision quite difficult. But the wheel is turning for you. That 10-10 portal is really pushing you forward to move forward. And as I said, this for some of you could be to leave the family home. For some of you, this could be to move to a new home anyway, or, to move away from what doesn't serve you, however that may present. So let's choose some more oracle cards as well. What else do you need to know about surrender? What do you need to know about moving forward? Magician and the Mirror. So I'm feeling very strongly, this is also a number 8 card, like the self-reflection, that your power is at looking at yourself in the mirror and identifying and what's holding you back, at having a really long look at yourself and acknowledging that you have all the skills and tools you need to move forward. It's all there facing you. And this magician is using sacral energy and throat chakra energy. So these might be 2 chakras that need attention in you. One of my meditation classes is about clearing your chakras, and I do believe the meditation video I have in my Twin Flame Healing playlist of videos has a chakra clearing in it as well. So you need to focus on the sacral and the throat, which is unleashing your creative potential and also, freeing you up to be more authentic, to speak your truth. We've got Angel of Strength, hostilities, and the second chakra, which is the sacral. So that's come up a second time for you. This also came up for pile 1, interestingly enough, although they're very different readings. So Angel of Strength is also a transitional number. It's a number 5. You have to trust that you have the support of spirit through these changes you need to make. And I feel like you fear the hostilities that may be presented as a result of making these very difficult decisions. But you've got to trust. You've got to trust that you're going to be able to satisfy them. For the sacral chakra to come up twice in this row, the sacral chakra is where we feel all our power, enthusiasm and drive from. It's that energy that really pushes us forward. It's fire energy, it's forceful. And I feel like working with that chakra is going to help you develop your strength, develop your courage, and give you the impetus to really drive forward. That truth may create some hostilities, conflict, or, the need to defend your own truth, or the need to assert yourself and choose what's right for you. But it's going to be worth it because it's moving you in the right direction, and you're really being pushed to move in that direction now. It's time. You're being asked to be patient. And this reminds me of temperance as well, and it's about fairness and justice. And I feel like this is specifically patient with your twin. I'm not going into the details of what's going on in your twin connection, but there's definitely a need here to remember that everything happens in perfect divine timing. And actually, it looks like you're still wrapping up and closing out some karmic cycles, and there's decisions you need to make to move forward into a calmer place before you come into that full balanced union with self that's going to unlock, the key to a union or reunion with your twin. So you're definitely being asked to trust in the divine plan and have faith if you're feeling a bit world weary with it all. There's so many number 5s to you. We've got the throat chakra here again. So throat and sacral have come up twice for you. You've got to speak your truth. And I feel like one of the things that's causing you about indecisions moving forward is your attachment to your present circumstances. It obviously serves you in some ways, even though it could be toxic and unpleasant. It makes you miserable. You know, nothing is ever that black and white. There's benefits to being in the situation you're in. Perhaps it's comfortable, financially secure, or but you've got to release the mask and be true to yourself and trust that there's a much more fulfilling life available to you when you make, you know, those changes. For some of you, I feel like finances is a big thing here. That, you know, if for you to move away, you're going to have to perhaps reduce your lifestyle expectations. You know, perhaps you've got a wealthy husband, or, you know, very stable financial circumstances in your current environment, and that to make that change, you're going to have to take a bit of a hit. Or it could be the attachment to someone else, you know, their attachment to you that keeps you feeling guilty, and this is why you're facing this conflict and you're so nervous. But it's time to speak your truth, and clearing your throat chakra, clearing your sacral chakra is really going to help you. 2 more. Happy family. I mean, we're moving towards union energies, but I'm feeling that this is about your family, and you've got to trust that when you make decisions that are going to make you happy, that this is going to help your family be happier. If you're a parent, you've got to remember that a happy parent is a good parent, and that being a happy parent is the best demonstration of life and love that you can offer your children. It's not, you know, material things. It's joy. It's showing them how to be happy. That's the most important thing. For some of you, this could literally be a union. This is a kind of 4 of Wands card for me. It could literally be moving towards a happy union, and this being that reassurance that you're moving in the right direction. But part 2, I do feel like you've done so much work. You're in, you know, a much better place. You need to give yourself a lot of credit for that. But there are still some changes you need to make, and you're ready for that. You needn't be afraid. It's going to be really positive for you. So that was a lovely, lovely reading. I really hope that helps. So please do hit the like button, guys, or even the down like if you really didn't enjoy it. Any engagement really helps my channel grow. And, you know, just by way of thanks, if you could just hit that button, I really do appreciate it. If you want to express your gratitude, you could treat me to a deck of cards. My Amazon wish list is in the description box below. Or you can donate via PayPal. And of course, if you want to book a private reading with me or check out my other services, you can do that on my website, which is happysouls1111.com. Right, pile 3, the Chrysalis Tarot with obsidian. It's a very protective stone. Let's see what comes up for you, pile 3. How can you move more gracefully towards surrender? What do you need to heal? What's holding you back from union? What can you do to feel better? We've got the 2 of stones, which is Pentacles. We've got the Hermit. I love the Hermit card in this deck. We've got the 5 of stones. The 7 of Wands in reverse. The 9 of Wands. The 6 of Swords. The 5 of Wands. The 10 of Wands. We've got the World in reverse. It's called Psyche in this deck. We've got Strength, and that's called Papa Legba in this deck. We've got the Chariot in reverse, the Sun in reverse, the King of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, and the 5 of Cups in reverse. Okay, I'm going to pull some oracle cards as well, pile 3. I'm sorry it's so dark today. Let me just see actually if I can put the flash on this video. Where's the flash? No, but it looks fairly bright. I'm sure it's okay. Put my blankets back. It's actually freezing in this room that I'm in. I don't know why. The radiator's right in front of me. Okay, turned over is sovereignty. We did talk about protection with that obsidian stone, and that's coming up for you. We'll have a deeper look into that in a minute, see what I can bring forward about that. Self-love. And what do you need to surrender? I love these cards, the power of surrender cards. They're so powerful. What do you need to surrender, pile 3? Surrender to the magic of who you are. Surrender to receiving support and love. These both came up in the first pile, so strong sinks. Surrender to rest and sleep. Pile 2, I feel like you've been, in order to bring more balance into your situation and to bring more clarity into your journey, you've been revisiting the past. This could just be by sitting with your own memories and feelings and reviewing your own history. You may have gone for past life regression, but there is a need, and I feel like you're already on that path to go backwards, to look at what's been, what's brought you to the pain that you still exist in and experience now. This has been a period of intense solitude for you, and I feel like you felt really left out in the cold, really rejected, but you're just coming out of the cave. You know, I feel like you're very determined. There's a tremendous amount of kind of, what's this feeling? It's like just enduring the journey. It's endurance. It's of this, you know, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep pressing forward. And you've really taken a lot of time out to, you know, dig deep into that, to look for your own inner light. There's a lot of ravens and crows showing up in this. I don't know if that symbol means something to you. We've also got the baby ducks and the geese on the other side over there. We've got bears. There's a lot of bears in this reading. So crows, ravens, geese, ducks, bears, if any of those symbols mean anything to you, let me know in the comments. I always find it really interesting when there's these syncs. But for you, this has definitely been a period of solitude. And of course, there's usually a period of intense solitude before a major breakthrough. And I feel like you're on the cusp of that. That 9 is showing me that, you know, you're really pushing through this. There's been a tremendous release for you recently, and you're ready to come out of your cave, to come out of that hermit energy. You're trusting yourself a lot more, and I feel like you're trusting your counterpart more, that you're learning how to create trust. And so there's probably been betrayal as well in your history, which is one of the things you've been revisiting. That's probably been a big trigger for you, and you've been really focusing on those trigger points surrounding betrayal, deceit and trust. And I feel like you're rebuilding this new template of trust within you, of learning to create that space. So a really transitional phase for you, a period of massive growth and learning. Now, I do feel like you're indecisive about how to move forward. You've probably, if not yet, you've either left a situation that wasn't serving you, or you're moving towards something better and, you know, planning that forward movement. And I feel like you're really ready to face, I mean, you could be at a crossroads right now, is what I'm thinking. This 10 of Wands with this centaur that's got all of these spirals on his back. These are symbols of creation, but he's at a crossroad. And at the moment he's facing into the past. He's kind of, you know, possibly revisiting the past so he can release even more. But there's some conflict about moving forward and about which way to go. Sovereignty has come up. And as I said at the beginning of this, I mean, you've got so many 5s in this reading for you, pile 3, which is a number of change, expansion, transition. 6 of Swords is also about transition. But for me, this is a transition of, you know, based in love. 6 is the number of love. So it could be moving away from, you know, some kind of lack towards something more fulfilling. But for sovereignty to come up and, you know, the obsidian stone, there could be a need to get clear here, to really take care of yourself spiritually, and to deepen your spiritual defenses, and to get some awareness of that. Now, I do share a free grounding and protection meditation. If you drop me an email, I can send that to you. And as I said at the beginning of this reading, there is a 20% off spirit release therapy, which gives you a full energetic clearing and restores your sovereignty. That you can find the coupon code for that on my community page. But this is coming up for you, that you need to take responsibility for your spiritual health, because you may have been indulging in all of these spiritual practices and meditation without actually, you know, using appropriate protection. There's something that hasn't quite ended, and I feel it's this cycle of revisiting the past and exploring the shadow aspects of self. But you're being so strong right now. You know, I really feel like not only are you ready to face that, but you're actually very determined to face it, and determined to blow away all these shadows and cobwebs that have been holding you back, and that you've been really diligent in doing that work. I do offer past life regression. If that's not something you are doing, it's definitely indicated that you need to revisit the past, because a lot of your wounds, especially those surrounding abandonment, and this could be that a partner left you, some kind of betrayal or deceit. As I said, trust is coming up strongly. And I feel like you've already made huge inroads with this, but looking into the past to unlock the root causes of these shadow aspects, or to unlock the truth that helps us move forward, can be really powerful exercise. So if you're not already doing that, then that's something that's definitely advisable for you, because you're not quite done with closing out that cycle yet. In terms of how you need to move forward, I'm guided that this is actually a time of standing still for you. And this is why I think this 10 of Wands is facing backwards. There's still work to do before you can fully move forward. Self-love is strongly indicated here. You really need to give yourself more time. And I know that you've been hermiting, that you've been containing yourself, and you feel ready to come out of that cave. But there's a little bit more work to do here before you race forward, because the divine plan is asking you to hold still right now, and that you can trust that when that energy shifts, you'll feel this drive to move forward in a different, more powerful way. But you're ready to unlock joy. You're ready to illuminate the truth about who you are. And you're ready to step into your own abundance. But again, this card is also about loyalty and trust for me. And I feel like these are the primary wounds that you're working on repairing. There's also a need to be more playful. And this came up for pile 1. There's a need to just release disappointment, because you're missing wonderful opportunities for growth and expansion, because you're so hermiting. You're so deep in that hermiting phase that you've perhaps neglected this playful stuff, this socializing, seeing friends, and just, you need to give yourself a break from the journey sometimes. And your healing, it can be very heavy, and you can feel, reborn and ready to face it with fresh perspective when you have a break. And it does say here, surrender to receiving support and love. Allow the love and support of others in. If you've not already joined my Facebook group, head on over there. There's loads of twins ready to support you, but I do feel very strongly that you need to get out and about. You need to see old friends. You need to just let your hair down and be really playful. In this deck, this is called the Acrobat. And this is saying, release your need to be really practical and sensible, and just let your hair down, be more playful. Surrender to the magic of who you are. And, you've got magic in you. If you're on this journey, you're a natural born light worker. And I feel like you've been doing all of this shadow work, but perhaps it's time to get involved with, exploring your spirituality in a more fun way. What interests you? What spiritual modalities, treatments, or, divination tools appeal to you? What excites you? Get involved in something that's going to help you expand in a more forward-moving way, that's more light-hearted and just exciting to explore, learning something new as well as exploring your shadow self. You're also being asked to surrender to rest, to prevent burnout, slow down, honour your need for quiet time and peaceful sleep, to rejuvenate your mind, body and spirit. I'm guessing that perhaps you don't sleep well at all, and that this is part of the problem, that you're not very good at standing still, apart from when you're focused perhaps on this healing work. And I'm feeling that perhaps you go outside of yourself for this healing work. That's to say that you seek the support of some kind of therapist or practitioner. So, you need to find the time to rest fully. I strongly recommend Paul McKenna, I Can Make You Sleep. His video is free. It's an self-hypnosis meditation that you can find on YouTube. Right, let's pull some more oracle cards for you. What else do you need to know about how to move forward on your journey? What do you need to know? We've got envy. We've got anxiety. We've got the daughter value. And we've got angel of love. So I feel like the envy and anxiety is what's keeping you stuck. You may feel, still a bit of resentment that life hasn't worked out how you've wanted it to. You could be looking at other people around you and seeing that they've moved forward in a more powerful way, that they've achieved more than you, but you need to stop comparing yourself. Everyone's journey is individual, whether they're a twin or not. This could be about, envy in the workplace. I'm picking up for some of you, this is envy towards an ex. Perhaps they've come out better off than you in some ending of a relationship. But surrendering envy and anxiety is going to help you move towards this door of value. And for Angel of Love, that is a beautiful card to receive. You've got to trust that you've got a strong spiritual presence around you, guiding you back towards this balance and harmony that you need to embrace within your heart space. But the door to value comes up over the King of Pentacles. Abundance awaits you. That door is open, but you're not seeing it at the moment because you're so wrapped up in your anxiety and the focusing on shadow self. So I think, you've perhaps been too focused on the shadow aspects. This could be because you've been compromised and you just need a clearing to give you a fresh perspective. But definitely you need to break this cycle and start having some fun so that you can see the opportunities. Yeah, so take action. And I'm feeling this is take action towards your twin rather than take action in practical matters. And I say this, these are both number 8s. 8 is the number of Saint Germain. It's a very twinny number. It's an infinite number. It represents eternity. I feel like you need to take action towards your twin. You need to show them your heart. And you may have been very fearful and anxious about doing this. I feel like even that, the idea of doing that brings you a lot of anxiety. But it's going to be a big step forward in the right direction for you, and you can trust that your spiritual guidance is surrounding you with love. That's angelic love. Goddess of the Moon, this is trusting your own intuition and reconnecting with the truth of who you are, recalibrating and reconnecting with your own intuitive radar so that you can trust yourself again as well as others. So more self-love is required. A little break from the shadow work. You do need to continue revisiting the past. You're on the right track. Don't take any practical action in your mundane 3D aspects of life now. I'm guided that's not the time. There's some releasing still to be done. You're letting go of resentment and bitterness, but there's still some envy and this kind of crossroads feeling. And if you don't know what to do, you can trust that's because it's not the right time to make a decision about what to do. So I really hope that helped pile 3. Please do hit the like button. It really, really helps my channel. Even if you downvote, if you didn't like it, hit the down thumb. Any engagement really helps my channel to grow and it will help YouTube recommend my readings. And I really, really appreciate it. If you'd like a private reading with me, you can visit me at happysouls1111.com. Okay. Pile 4. Let's see what we've got for you. How are you feeling in your journey? What do you need to surrender? What do you need to do to bring you closer to union with self, to help you surrender more gracefully to what is? What do you need to heal within yourself that's blocking your connection, that's blocking your movement forward? Let's have a look. See, this is the Wildwood Tarot. It's really quite beautiful. I love it. It's not a traditional deck. It's got its own unusual cards, but I love that. Okay, we've got the 7 of Pentacles, which is called healing in this deck. We've got the 10 of Swords. We've got the 2 of Cups. The 10 of Swords, sorry, is in reverse. We've got the Hermit in reverse. We've got the Queen of Wands in reverse. Okay. We've got Judgment or Awakening. We've got the Ace of Cups in reverse. We've got the Empress, or the Green Woman as she is in this deck. We've got the 6 of Swords. We've got the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. We've got the Ace of Wands in reverse. The 8 of Wands in reverse. We've got Temperance. We've got the Queen of Swords. It's the Swan. And we've got the Star in reverse. Okay, path 4. This is really interesting. Right, I'm going to pull some oracle cards also. Gratitude, self-reflection. It's absolutely crazy how much of the same oracle cards have come up for each pile. I love those things. It's really cool. We've got fruition. Let's get some surrender cards also. Surrender defensiveness. Surrender to play. That's come up also for most of the piles. Not that card, but that message. Surrender your desire to control people. Okay, pile 4. Trigger warning. Hard truths coming, okay? Don't shoot the messenger. I'm here to help you. No point sugarcoating it. We need to have a long, hard, real look at what's going down here. So I feel like your healing approach is very external. And that's to say that you probably seek healing from outside of you with the help and support of others. But that you're not very good at doing this independently is what I'm hearing, that you're and you know, this is part of the codependency template that you're trying to collapse. You know, healing is an inside job, and whilst it's tremendously helpful to seek that support externally, there's a need here to go within that you're avoiding. And so, you know, we've got healing here, and we've got the 10 of Swords in reverse here. It's called instructional in this deck. But for me, this is saying to you, you know, it's not about following other people's instructions or getting other people to literally, you know, show you. I mean, you see this man, he's literally holding this guy's elbow while he's pulling that bow. He's showing him quite literally and physically how to you know, operate that bow and arrow. There's a need for you to be more independent, and I feel like you're very focused on union. This is where your focus is right now. It's focused on coming into union rather than coming into union with yourself. With the Hermit in reverse, there's not been enough inner work. There's not been enough self-reflection. And with the Queen of Wands in reverse, it's a hare in this deck, if that means something to you. But, you know, with the Queen of Wands in reverse, I'm seeing that you're not stepping into your own power. You're not embracing the opportunity to really serve and love self on this journey. And you're being called to wake up for this truth that you've got to do that self-reflection. You've got to look in your own mirror. So we see, you know, on this card here, you've got this mirror with this very twin image, and they're up to their neck in emotion. And this is about facing the truth of who you are. I feel like the external healing you've done has been... it's moved you forward. It's been very, very beneficial. But it's time for you now to come out of the cave. It's time for you to embrace your own healing journey. It's time for you to embrace your own strength, to recognize that, you know, you have to care for yourself. This journey is about self-love, self-fulfillment, self-reflection, self-healing. It's about, you know, removing and releasing the attachment for others, you know, being able to do these things for ourselves. And, you know, you've got also the Ace of Cups here in reverse, that, you know, you're quite overwhelmed with emotion and you're not loving self. It's like that love is flowing out of you quite beautifully, and certainly unconditionally for your twin, for your counterpart, but you're not leaving enough yourself. So you need to step into Empress energy before you step into union energy, and you need to bring things back into balance internally. There's a transition here that you need to make, and I feel like you've kind of, perhaps you are moving in the right direction with that. And there's a lot of swans also have come up in this reading, if they mean anything to you. And a ton of swans showing up here. So I really feel, I mean, this guy's sat in a swan, and the demi-swan, the swan on its own, is a symbol of self-love. And we've got swans here in the Ace of Cups, just the one swan, and also a stag, which is masculine energy. It's called the Waters of Life, the Ace of Cups in this card, which is quite beautiful. But in this card, the Six of Swords, you see this person sailing away in that swan boat, and they're on their own. The Six of Swords often features a couple in that boat, but they're on their own. They're leaving all the pain and triggers behind them, all this cloud. They're following the light of the moon. Can you see that light there? Their intuition to allow them to move forward. But there's a release that needs to happen here. It's fear of loss, fear of rejection, fear of abandonment that needs to be released. In this deck, the Five of Pentacles is called endurance. There's a thunderstorm going on in the background. This person's kind of sat in a cave poking the fire. And this is in reverse. You know, this is about releasing those rejection and abandonment triggers, about saying it's okay to be on my own, it's safe, it's fun to be on my own. And you really need to embrace your spiritual power. I feel like you've embraced spirituality, but you've not embraced your own power, and you're not, as a result, you know, this has slowed down your forward movement. It's slowed down your progress. Instead, you've been in this, and we've got another swan down here. I feel like you've been in this very logical, pragmatic frame of mind about your healing, about doing it externally, looking for people to support you with that. And, you know, as a result, you've not perhaps made the progress which you could have been making if you been accountable to yourself. There's also a feeling of not trusting or having faith in this journey or your ability to heal self and to make good progress. Now, bearing in mind I said about the trigger warnings, it does say here surrender defensiveness. And I feel like you might be quite triggered by what I'm saying, but it does say here defensiveness is a sign of weakness. To communicate in a more empowered way, stay centered and hear someone out, then offer a clear, non-defensive response. So you have to be really honest with yourself, because, you know, defensiveness is born of our ego when our pride is wounded. You know, when someone says to you, look, you're not really doing what you should be doing, that can sting, because it can make us feel like we're not good enough, like we've not, you know, oh God, I got it wrong. And it's if you're still feeling that, just, you know, there's no right or wrong in this journey. This reading is about bringing you to where you need to be, about bringing you into this zone of awareness so you can see and step back from and have a more objective viewpoint. You can see what you need to do. You can develop this self-reflection, which is what you're being called to do, to look at self, to stop looking externally. As I said, you need to take this journey inwards. Right now, you're experiencing it externally. You need to take a break from overthinking, which is, you know, I feel like you do overthink this journey, and this is why you work yourself into this state where you're doubting and you're losing faith. We've also got surrender your control, your desire to control people. Being over-controlling can sabotage relationships. To more effectively achieve your goals, back off, regroup, and give the situation some breathing room. So, you know, if you've been chasing your twin, I think there is a clear indicator. And sometimes it's not chasing. Sometimes it's running because you want them to chase you. Sometimes it's trying to control our external circumstances by being emotionally manipulative. But you have to control this journey from within. It's about bringing yourself back into balance, bringing yourself into empress energy, balanced, healthy energy, and that's what moves you to union. These cards are right down the center. Okay, that's what's at the heart of this matter. But all of the others on these sides, virtually all of them, are in reverse. Okay, there's a lot of blocked energies here. There's a lot of things that you're defensive about, you're not prepared to acknowledge about yourself, and you're being asked to look in the mirror. And also to be grateful for what you have. I think sometimes you look here and you think, you know, I want to get off this journey, it's rubbish. But you need to look at all the blessings that have come to you as a result of this journey. Powerful realizations, powerful understanding. And the door to abundance is really opening up for you in a big way, is what I'm hearing here as well. That there's so much joy available to you just when you step within and embrace it. And that's going to really accelerate your journey. When you start to embrace that inward journey and embrace spirit, things are going to move forward for you in a powerful way. Angel of Strength. This also came up for the other piles. The second chakra, the sacral, that too. So, you know, there could be a blockage in that that chakra. We've got happy family life and action. So if you want that union, you need to take action. You need to develop some strength. You need to nurture your own drive and creativity in how you face this journey. This is a number 9 card. The sacral chakra is all about creativity, drive, enthusiasm, passion. And what I'm feeling here is that you need to move towards what you want now by going inside and being strong and developing this drive to work on self, more importantly. We've also got the world and the temple path, which is showing me that this cycle hasn't closed out yet, that you still need to follow this spiritual path and go within to find that inner light, to step into that hermit energy and that self-reflection. There could be some financial constraints that are throwing things out of balance for you at the moment. You can trust that, I'm getting for some of you, there may be a little nest egg. For some of you, there's something tucked away. It could be some money, it could be something that you could sell, but there's a door opening to abundance for you that's going to help you restore balance and harmony. Don't allow financial constraints to be a barrier to you planning and visualizing what you want. You know, with fruition here, there's a big call towards manifesting what you want through your spirituality, through your strength of will. It's time to release anxiety and to ground yourself also. You definitely need to get grounded and start looking at this journey from a much more balanced perspective, because I feel like you've been up in the clouds just focusing on union. It's time to come back down to earth and to start working on yourself. The Garden Gate shows us that you're not ready to step out of your comfort zone at the moment, and that's probably where this anxiety is coming from and why this transition that you're being pushed towards may be quite difficult for you. Of course, this 1010 portal is driving us all to move forward and to create that transition. We've got cornucopia here, which is very similar to this fruition card. I do feel like abundance is moving towards you, so you can release the stress that you feel in those kind of financial constraints. We've also got woman holding a heart, and this is really beautiful. This also came up for another pile, but for you, I'm hearing that the secret to your success and abundance resides in your heart, and if only you would go inwards and embrace yourself, embrace the love that already exists inside of you and nurture that part of yourself, then beautiful, abundant transformation awaits. So I really hope that helped pile 4. Please do hit the like button or the don't like button if it wasn't accurate for you. Either types of engagement really helps my channel to grow, and it's a small token of your appreciation for the videos I do. So please do hit that like button, share and subscribe if you feel guided to. And I look forward to seeing you next time. If you want to book a private reading with me, you can do that through my website at happysouls1111.com. You can find a ton of videos in my playlist if you want to watch back through those. There could be piles there that work for you. There are other healing videos. And I feel like learning meditation will be key for you, pile 4, because that's something you can do independently. But I am doing group ones soon, which will help you to get to grips with that. And there's also an instructional video on my Twin Flame Healing playlist on YouTube. So go and check that out. Right, thank you so much. I will see you next time. Have a great evening and happy Wednesday. Halloween tomorrow. See you then. Bye.